Well, I'm going to attempt to make this video this morning, just a little ride on the morning ranch, or ride on the ranch in the morning. So here's my new road. I just put some gravel down, got that all put in place, so make it easier for us to get up here, especially in the fall when it gets a little wet out here. I won't get stuck and I can come out here anytime I want to and not have to worry about what the road looks like. Got to do a little more work on it. I'm a rookie with the box blade on the tractor. Looking for my girlfriends out here. Usually in the morning time I'll see a couple of deer. I got a doe and a fawn or two running around out here. And actually quite a few more than that. I'm going to run out to my deer stand. Not my deer stand, my deer feeder. We'll put another feeder right over there. Actually, there used to be one over there back in the day. This is my little road going back to my little covered shed, I call it. It's not really a barn per se, because it's an open structure, but it's where I park my ATV and my tractor, just to keep it out of the weather. This could be a challenge right here in the fall when it gets wet. It's a little creek crossing. So we're getting ready to bale some hay today. I'm kind of excited about it. Here's my tractor. Just got that not too long ago. Sold my Corvette so I could buy a tractor. Not really. I wasn't driving the Corvette, but I am driving the tractor, so I think it was a good purchase. Went over and looked at my pond a while ago, or my tank I'm told I'm supposed to call it. And it's doing all right. You know, the water's hanging in there. Last year we had very little water at this time, so I'm really happy. If it continues, I might try to check into irrigating something with that water, because it's basically free water, and I don't have cows out here now. So you can see they've already cut my field, and we're gonna rake today and get it baled up. So I'm pumped. We got 80 bales last time, but I'm thinking we're gonna get more, maybe like 100 this time around, because we cut the grass a little lower. This is Coastal Bermuda second cut, fertilized, no weeds. It's like premium horse hay. So we'll see. They did a good job cutting the field here. Might get lucky and come across some more deer back here. I'll take you around the back, show you what I've done back there. I'm trying to maintain my fence line. When I bought this property, there was no way for you to go around the fence line. You can walk it, but you definitely couldn't take a tractor back there or anything ATV even. So I had somebody come and help me clear it. Now I'm maintaining it. That's before I had my tractor too. Let's run over here and see what this looks like. I want to see if there's any deer been eating on my corn back here. I just put this out. Yeah, we still got corn on the ground, but I kind of put extra corn out last night. You can see back in here, this is where the deer come from and the pigs. So this works pretty good up here. Sometimes I'll sprinkle out a little more on the ground here so I can see, kind of get a good idea, of what's going on with it. My camera's right back here, so I try to get pictures back in here when I can. I need to get my other camera up. My son bought me a really nice solar camera, but it's one of those things where it's kind of hard to figure it out. So hopefully this light is good enough here. I can just get in here and pop this baby in here. Let's see how hard it's going to be. Yep, that'll probably do it right there. These cameras are one of the best investments you can make. They're not that expensive and they last forever. Same thing on these feeders. This little box right here, I think I have 10 double A's in it, but it's been going solid still after a year. I think I put it in there, what, maybe it's been about right at a year or so. Let's see if I can get this done. So we'll take a loop around the back, see if anything's going on back here. Give y'all an idea of my back property. This is, I don't know how many acres this is. I'd say it's at least 20 acres out here. I've got 80 acres overall. See my neighbor over here, he cut his hay. He was a little bit late. He got a good yield though, I have to say, but I don't think he's going to get a second cut. He might if he's lucky. I don't think he really fertilized, so he just basically got out there and let it. He didn't fertilize, but we had so much water, so much rain this summer and spring, but more than last year. Mine was probably another 10 inches taller than that or more. So he might get a second cut, but you know, sometimes you get lucky and you don't have to fertilize. He might have weeded. I don't know. I don't see too many weeds, so I might be discounting him a little bit. Let's take a ride around the back. Well, this is kind of cool back here, and we might see some deer back here, and pigs. I don't see the pigs very often though. They're pretty good about staying out of sight. But you can see their trails if you look closely. Kind of watch the fence line, and you can see sometimes right where they're coming across from one property to the next. This guy back here, he keeps his feeder going. There's a spot right there. You can see it's a distinct trail. Not going over there so much, but I think they come under the fence right here, and then they might head up here and go into the woods over here. I think what they do is they cross over right there, and then they make their way over to my feeder and eat my corn. So we're going to have some big back strap here in the next month or so. I get my Savage sighted in. I'm going to have my deer blind in place. We're gonna pop some, knock them in the head, as Y'all likes to say. Give out a little plug. If you don't watch, if you like to watch hog hunting, go do a Google search or on YouTube. Y'all, he's pretty funny. Knock them in the head and feeding families. We're not doing that, but I just want to make an effort at knocking them down a little bit. I had one earlier this year. That guy was at least 250 pounds. He was huge, or she was. I don't know if it's a boar or not, but had about a dozen piglets with him. So, oh, there's a squirrel eating the corn. So this guy keeps his feeder going year round, which is important to do that if you really want to keep the deer on your property. He's got a nice stand back here. Only problem with that stand is it's like right on the fence line. That's kind of a no-no, I understand. I'm a new hunter, so what do I know? I'm told you really, it's kind of disrespectful to put a deer stand right on the property line. But, you know, I'm the only one that's going to be hunting out here and probably the next morning. The only one that will have hunted years out here. The person that sold me this property really never got out here much. So as you can see, we did a good job. I got to work on this fence line here. Get these trees and this brush cleared out of here, but that's a job for another day. Tremendous amount of work. But it's important, especially, I mean, whether you have cows or not, but if you do have cows, you got to maintain your fences. Otherwise, your cows will get out on your neighbor's property, and you don't want that happening. But just as a general rule, you want to maintain your fence line. Make sure you don't have any trespassers out here, squatters, whatever. But there's some cool places back in these woods right here. I've kind of walked it and hiked it. It looks pretty dense, but there's some open areas back in there. I'm gonna probably get me a deer stand or a tree stand back in there, because I know the deer are hiding out in there for sure. I don't know if you can see it right there. I had a fence, I'm sorry, not a fence, a tree fall over on my fence. So I got to get my tractor back here and do a little work on that. This is my alternative route here. Actually, the county kind of graded this path right here for me last year, because we had a burn. Carbon had a big fire last year. I lost, well, I didn't lose, but I got this area right in here burned, about maybe an acre or so, or two. I was very fortunate. Right before I bought this property, they had a big fire. So, I mean, the whole town of Carbon got, well, not the whole town, but a large percentage of the town got burned. People lost their houses, their machinery. It was devastating. So hopefully that never happens again. And that's another reason you want to have that, that fence line clear back there, so that you can make sure you got a fire break. So this is kind of like right here where they came in. You can't really tell right now though, but they trenched a line across the pasture right here to keep the fire from spreading on down this way. And I was happy they did, for sure. I could have lost 20 acres or more. So this is kind of the back pasture. It's nice out here today. It's probably 7:45 or so, July 26th, and it's probably the upper 70s this morning. Got a little breeze blowing, so it's a nice day to be out on the ranch. I'm telling you, I love it out here. Been out here about 4 days this week, working on my cabin a little bit. Just about got it where I wanted. So I'm waiting on my guys to show up, start raking this hay up in the rows, and then they'll be baling today. So I'll have more footage on that maybe later today, post up some pics or something. But I encourage anyone, if you ever thought about owning any property, I would suggest that you do it. Just go out there and jump out there and do it. I had somebody encourage me to buy a piece of land, and a neighbor of mine who's a realtor did me a solid and showed me this place, and I can't be more happy about it. I love getting out here away from the city. If it was up to me, I'd move out here and just call it a day. So besides that, I kind of did it as an investment, because I don't like the stock market currently. I think there's a lot of insider trading going on, manipulation going on, and right here before, we are going to have a recession this year, one way or the other. And when people realize that, they're going to be screwed in the stock market. So I just didn't want to deal with that. Real estate's always a good investment. So anyway, that's all I got for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit that like button.